charm, when the bodily features are delicate and expertly curved, and when the eyebrows are very beautifully agitated, the ornament of feminine charm called Lalita Ankara is manifest. Text 193. This text comes from the Ujjvala Nilamani, Anubhava Parakarana 51. When Lord Sri Krishna when Lord Sri Krishna happens to see Srimati Radharani decorated with these Lalita ornaments, they both eagerly want to meet each other. When Srimati Radharani was decorated with the ornament of Lalita Alankara, just to increase Sri Krishna's love, an attractive curve was manifested by her neck, knees, and waist. This was brought about by her timidity and apparent desire to avoid Krishna. The flickering movement of her eyebrows could conquer the powerful bow of Cupid. To increase the joy of her beloved, her body was decorated with the ornaments of Lalita Alankara. When Krishna comes forward and greedily snatches the border of her sari, Srimati Radharani is actually very pleased with him, but still she tries to stop him. We've seen this also in common reactions. Doing one thing but actually meaning another. This ecstatic attitude of Srimati Radharani is called Kutamita. When this ecstatic ornament is manifested, Srimati Radharani externally tries to avoid Krishna, and she apparently becomes angry, although she is very happy within. When the border of her sari and the cloth veiling her face are caught, she externally appears offended and angry, but within her heart is very happy. Learned scholars call this attitude Kutimita. This is from Ujjvala Nilamani, Anubhava Parakarana 44. So now we're going to read text 198 of the 14th chapter of Madhya Lila. Vrindavan Dham is made of transcendental touchstone. Its entire surface is the source of all valuable jewels, and the Chintamani stone is used to decorate the lotus feet of the maidservants of Srimati Radharani. Vrindavan is a natural forest of desire trees and creepers, and the inhabitants do not want anything but the fruits and flowers of those desire trees. In Vrindavan there are cows to fulfill all desires, Kamadhenu, and their number is unlimited. They graze from forest to forest and deliver only milk. The people want nothing else. That's text 223. 223, I think I skipped a page. That's what happens when you've got these thin pages and you turn them. You think you've got one, but actually you've got probably 2 or 3 or even 4. You really are traveling. So I'm going to go back to the previous verse. When the border of her sari and cloth veiling her face are caught, she externally appears very offended and angry, but within her heart, she is very happy. Learned scholars call this attitude Kutamita. Now, hopefully I've got the right one. Although Srimati Radharani was checking Krishna with her hand, internally she was thinking, let Krishna satisfy his desires. In this way, she was very pleased with him, although she externally displayed opposition and anger. Srimati Radharani externally displays a kind of dry crying, as if she is offended. Then she mildly smiles and admonishes Lord Krishna. Actually, she has no desire to stop Krishna's endeavor to touch her body with his hand. Yet Srimati Radharani, whose thighs are like the trunk of a baby elephant, protests his advances and sweetly smiling admonishes him. At such times, she cries without tears on her charming face. In this case, Srimati Radharani is ornamented and decorated with various ecstatic symptoms which attract the mind of Sri Krishna. It is pastimes of Sri Krishna, even though he himself described them in his incarnation of Sahasra Vandana, the thousand-mouthed Seshanaka. At this time, Srinivas Thakur smiled and told Swarup Damodar, "My dear sir, please hear. Just see how opulent my goddess of fortune is. As far as Vrindavan's opulence is concerned, it consists of a few flowers and twigs, some minerals from the hills, and a few peacock feathers, a plant known as ganja." When Jagannath decided to see Vrindavan, he went there, and upon hearing this, the goddess of fortune experienced restlessness and jealousy. She wondered, why did Lord Jagannath give up so much opulence and go to Vrindavan? To make him a laughingstock? The goddess of fortune made arrangements for much decoration. When the maidservants of the goddess of fortune said to the servants of Lord Jagannath, "Why did your Lord Jagannath abandon the great opulence of the goddess of fortune, and for the sake of a few leaves, flowers, and fruits, go see the flower garden of Srimati Radharani? Your master is so expert at everything, but why does he do such things? Now bring your master before the goddess of fortune." In this way, all the maidservants of the goddess of fortune arrested the servants of Jagannath, bound him about the waist, and brought him before the goddess of fortune. When all the maidservants brought Lord Jagannath's servants before the lotus feet of the goddess of fortune, the Lord's servants were fired and forced to submit. All the maidservants began to beat the Ratha cart with sticks, and they treated the servants of Lord Jagannath almost like thieves. Finally, all of Lord Jagannath's servants submitted to the goddess of fortune with folded hands, assuring her that they would bring Lord Jagannath before her the very next day. Being thus pacified, the goddess of fortune returned to her apartment. Just see, my goddess of fortune is opulent beyond all description. Srinivas Thakur continued to address Swarup Damodar. Your gopis are engaged in boiling milk and churning yogurt, but my mistress, the goddess of fortune, sits on a throne made of jewels and gems. Srinivas Thakur, who was enjoying the mood of Narada Muni, thus made jokes. Hearing them, all the personal servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to smile. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told Srinivas Thakur, "My dear Srinivas, your nature is exactly like that of Narada Muni. The Supreme Personality of Godhead's opulence is having a direct influence upon you. Swarup Damodar is a pure devotee of Vrindavan. He does not even know what opulence is, for he is simply absorbed in pure devotional service." Swarup Damodar then retorted, "My dear Srinivas, please hear me with attention. You have forgotten